The date is September 30th, 2001, and a young quarterback by the name of Tom Brady is making his first NFL start for the New England Patriots in Foxborough Stadium. Roughly 2,600 miles away in Queen Creek, Arizona, a young boy by the name of Brock Purdy is likely learning how to walk and talk as he inches toward turning 2 years old. Little did either of them know that in a little over 21 years, their paths would cross for one of the most exciting games of the 2022 NFL season. I feel like I should get a few things out of the way. A disclaimer of sorts. I have never been one of those people that subscribe to the whole ex-quarterback versus white quarterback narrative when I'm watching a football game. It doesn't make sense to me. Both quarterbacks are never on the field at the same time until the end of the game when they're meeting in the middle to shake hands or to complain about the refs. Sorry, that was a cheap shot. Chiefs fans are still healing. I get it. Moving on. Picture this. You're an NFL quarterback who was drafted by one of the most storied franchises in NFL history. Two of the most iconic quarterbacks to ever play the game still visit the team from time to time, and you also might get tapped on the shoulder by one of the greatest wide receivers in history who just wants to say hello. Now, imagine you're the last pick in the draft who hasn't had a chance to start an NFL game the entire season, and 13 weeks in, you're asked to go in for the injured starter. Sure, you win the game because all you had to do was not mess up, and the defense was phenomenal, and the other team couldn't prepare for you. But now the starter is out for the season, and the team you're starting for has playoff aspirations. And guess what? You have to make sure you not only don't mess up, you have to continue to win. You still with me? Good, because now I want you to take all of that and add the fact that the quarterback standing on the other side of the field is the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady. Football royalty. The GOAT. Coming into week 14, both teams are coming off big wins. For the Bucs, it was a win against division rivals in the Saints, and of course, the Niners are coming off that win against the Dolphins. So each team was coming into this game hoping to keep their momentum going. But for Purdy, this game meant something a little more. In earlier interviews before the draft, the one thing Purdy said he was hoping for in getting drafted was just to get a chance to show his new team, whoever that may be, what he was capable of. In the last episode, I mentioned his debut in the Chiefs game. He would get another chance to get into the game against Arizona, which produced a questionable play from him and the running back who was playing with him at the time, Jordan Mason. So if you are a Niner fan and your only knowledge of Purdy up until week 14 were his garbage time plays from week 7 and the botched handoff in week 11 against Arizona, then you probably thought the season was basically over. Here was a player that began the season as a third-string quarterback only after he was drafted with the final pick and didn't see any playing time until 7 weeks into the season. I'm sure many Niner fans legitimately did not know who this person even was, but as they would soon find out, this wasn't just any normal quarterback. And it is here that we have to go back to that small, practically insignificant trade that the Niners made back in week 7. While his debut against the Chiefs did not have the immediate impact that most people thought, it was a miracle that he was even able to play in that game to begin with. Why? Well, he was traded on Thursday, October 20th, and the game against the Chiefs was Sunday, October 23rd, leaving him only a few days to learn some of the more simple plays that Shanahan had ready for him. Although let's be real, even simple plays can seem complicated in a Shanahan offense. McCaffrey credits some of the coaches helping him out learning the plays, but he gives a lot of credit to a specific player for spending extra time after hours going over the plays in better detail, even going so far as to take him out to the practice field to help him run through them.
Yeah, Brock was unbelievably helpful to me when I first got here. He would, on Saturday nights before the games, I would get with Brock and we'd go through the whole play sheet.
McCaffrey would say in an interview that he was impressed with how well Purdy knew the playbook when he was helping him prepare for his Week 7 debut. He would go on to praise Purdy for the way he prepared each week, even if he wasn't playing in the game itself. So when he finally stepped on the field in Week 14, no one knew just how good he would actually be. And when the ball was snapped for the first time, people were probably ready to call this season over with. Purdy would technically get the team 15 extra yards on a roughing the passer penalty, but that certainly wasn't the start the fans were hoping for. After that though, Purdy went off. In just over one quarter of football, the 49ers looked dominant on offense, outscoring the Bucs 0-14. What was special about this touchdown, and something that would go way under the radar for a lot of people, was that this was one of the first instances of Purdy using his legs. Not only did he showcase great instincts to run when things were breaking down, but he also showed himself to be quicker than people expected. And surprising to many people, things only got better from there. The 2022 season is an interesting one in terms of history because it would be Brady's final season as an active NFL player. So a lot of firsts and onlys for players going against the Buccaneers can only be possible because of that fact. Unfortunately, this game did come at a cost. Deebo Samuel would go down in this game with a high ankle sprain and will be out for many weeks. But the message to the rest of the NFL had already been sent. The 49ers were not going down without a fight after losing two of their starting quarterbacks. So, why did I want to make this episode separate from the rest of the season? Well, because this game was actually very important for the narrative that was beginning to form around him. And it just so happened to coincide with the man he was facing in this game. Now, please, put the pitchforks down. I am in no way, shape, or form about to sit here and compare Brock Purdy to Tom Brady. As I said a few episodes ago, I'm a fan. I'm not stupid. But if you stop and think about their stories, there's an eerie similarity. Both men were very low draft picks. Tom Brady was taken in the 6th round with pick 199, and Brock Purdy was taken in the 7th round with pick 262. Both men did not automatically start for the teams that drafted them, and both men did not get their opportunities to show what they could do until their teams needed them the most. As for this game though, Purdy proved that the win over the Dolphins was not a fluke. With a dominating win over the Bucs, the Niners would set their sights on their next opponent. The real test for Purdy was about to begin as they would head to Lumen Field to take on one of their fiercest rivals. And just like that, the video is done. If you liked what you saw and aren't subscribed, consider doing that now. Also consider leaving a like and comment so that wonderful algorithm stays fed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.